What up, folks? How you doing? Thank you for joining us on Tools, Tech, and Apps Tuesday. Today we're talking about software purchases. Yesterday we had talked about a software that I had purchased that just wasn't really working out for me. It was something I bought as a one-time deal where I didn't have to buy monthly. We talk about that. We also talk about going Facebook Live, all the people that are going live in the group and how that's working. We're talking about that. And what I could not wait to pull out of Ben was the Facebook group meeting rooms. That is something that he's been playing with. I haven't focused on that, focusing on other things, and he talks about that as well. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for the episode right now. You're starting a new business or career. You want to get your message out online, but you don't know how, you don't know where to start, and you don't know what to avoid. Well, let me tell you, this is a great first step. This podcast is here to help you navigate the world of your business, sales, and networking for brand new entrepreneurs like us.
How excited you sent me about that program that you bought, and you were all excited about it. Let's talk about that first.
We'll talk about that first. Okay. So
here's the thing. You were all excited about it, so I was like, oh, you know what? And you sent me the link, and I researched it. And I kept getting like information, and and I'll just tell you from my end. So I was looking at it, and I'm like, what is this? And so tell us about that first, because I was like in the gray area, right? So go ahead.
So about the software, I found it on one of the software places that I'm on their email list. They say, hey, for their introductory special or whatever before it goes to a monthly service, they try and pump you up to get you to buy the software. And this was all about a platform for doing text message marketing, for doing ringless voicemail drops, for connecting to your Facebook. And it was a platform that was going to be like a dashboard for doing that type of marketing. And I was super excited. I was like, wow, this is going to be super easy. I called Ben. I sent him the link. I was like, hey, man, check this out, because, we're all always trying to get our message out in different ways, whether it be email, whether it be on this show, whether it be in text, whatever. I asked him to look at it. He's like, man, Matty, this looks pretty good. These guys do a heck of a job selling it. You know what I mean? That's their job. Is this the software that they develop? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really matter. But they're going to market the heck out of you and try and give you as much positives that they can to get you to buy, and they're going to leave some of the things out. And some of those things are hugely important. For instance, the one that I bought that we're talking about right now doesn't integrate real well with G Suite. G Suite is where I bought my domain, and that's where I have mattysells.vegas, and that's where I have my email. But now I have to set up separate emails to do campaigns, which I can understand for large scale, but to do minimal blasts or communications, I wanted to go ahead and use the G Suite, and it just is not functional integrating with G Suite. And I've been in contact with the developers or the person I think is developing it. I always say that because you never know, what I mean, where these softwares are coming from. But it doesn't look like this one's going to pan out for us.
It was, you sent me a link, right? And it opened you to a funnel, which is a website that'll, that wants your information. And it had a countdown on it, right? It was like, oh, you're going to get 80% off the deal or whatever it was. And you have 13 hours to buy it. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, I was this close to like going, okay, this looks really good, because it said you had SMS. You can email. I said, oh, you know what? We are building an email list. We'll talk about that in the future. And I said, we do need a way to reach out, to send out the information. And I kept looking at it and digging it. And there's so many videos, and there was like some like ups and downs. And then that's why I went back to you. I said, what do you think? And you were like, no. And the price was really, really good, right? Like sometimes the price is good.
Well, I got the discount code plus everything else. It was like under $50, man. And those things are just too good to be true. And I can understand if you have to, pay per text or whatever. Those are understandable. I get that. But my understanding of when I was purchasing it, it was all going to be together, and integrating so many things. I could do that already. I don't need to spend the money to integrate anything. You know what I mean? it didn't make it functionally easier for me at all.
Yeah. So, yeah, so that's good. Do your research. Sometimes YouTube videos and sometimes here's the thing with YouTube videos. A lot of people are affiliates with the YouTube video, or excuse me, are affiliates with the software that they're selling.
Right?
We're phone sites.
Yep.
We use
Both of us. Absolutely.
I get so much money. The price that I pay, the value of that is worth it for me. That's why I keep that every time. They're like, oh, I'll never lose that. Till the day I die, I'll keep phone sites just because it's that powerful. But here's the thing. So we want to find stuff that we can utilize more than just our business, right? We want to maybe because you use it all the time for other people's. I mean, you're the stuff that you buy, you help other people out with it if it's
information.
Elric's, like videos and all that stuff. It's not, so we want to utilize it for more. Like, for example, for phone sites, I've had my daughters play with it, and they can use it to build their, say if you want to build a website or something for school or a project, whatever, this is so easy. If you can send it out to your teacher and easy, right? Like, it's that simple. 13-year-old kid, my 13-year-old was able to figure it out. So that's how easy. I want it to be easy for me to use. And I asked you, can I use it on my phone? And you're like, no. So sometimes you not all the time we're on the desktop.
First question you asked me.
Yeah. I want to be able to see if I can use it on my phone, because here's the thing. 90% of us are not on the desktop all day. We're on our phones, we're running around, we have families. So we're trying to find things that are duplicatable, easy to use for everyday business. So, for example, if you are a mom and wants to start her business and you have a home business or whatever you want to do, you can do it from a device and at least get started, right? And as you grow, and you put some money on the side, then you say, hey, I'll invest in some.
Exactly. And that's what it is. You said the right word. It is an investment, but you want to make the right one. Like the one I did, I'm going to go ahead and get the money back guarantee. So I'll get my money back. So I'm not real concerned about it, but try and figure it out quickly if something's not going to work for you as well. Find something easy. Whatever you use, is going to work. You just have to use it. But make sure you're doing a little bit of research and make sure you're bailing out quick if something's not going to be functional for you.
And the upsell, there's always an upsell. There's always an upsell, right? You'll buy you buy the program at a really, really good price, and they'll offer you like 5 different versions, and then you got to buy more and more. Sometimes it's worth it, but sometimes it's not worth it. So be aware of the upsell. That's where they really, because now you got to buy a subscription for the program, and you're paying.
Well, and that's what you were trying to avoid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just making notes. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. And again, we'll go back to phone sites again. That's why I like phone sites. It's just one time, and there's so much training. There's so much. How do you say, value into that I still haven't maximized the value of the phone sites program. So it has the autoresponder. You can make an email. You can do all that. Later on, you can integrate MailChimp and all kinds of stuff. So I'll get to. I'm still learning it, and I wish Matt's already doing it. I learned a lot from Matt already. So a lot of cool techniques and cool tricks. And I'm like, man, I gotta keep.
Keep learning. And I actually delved deep into the training the other day to try a few things. So really cool. We're going to go over that definitely some more. I was just talking to a financial expert about it, and in one of the groups I found a funnel and pages for that. And I said it to him. He's like, oh, wow, that's what it could do. It's really cool. So the software or whatever you're doing, there's a lot of free things that you can use out there. Find ways to do whatever you're doing on a free level. You will get to a point where finding ways to spend money intelligently with the best return, that's going to come to a point. And that's all we're saying. Make the best investment for the best return.
Another thing what's happening right now in BSN is the live videos. That's it's free, guys. Live video feature is free on your phone if you have Facebook. So, and how powerful is live video? And it is powerful. Not also for the viewer, but for the person themselves.
Right.
It's powerful. We created BSN. We created it. I say we because Matt's been so supportive. It took me a while to find people, right?
But this is your creation, always.
But, I had a vision, and I talked to Matt, and sometimes I'm like, am I being crazy? But here's the thing. I was doing a little research on we're talking about Facebook groups. We're talking about what happens, and a lot of people have, what happens is in Facebook groups is we're giving information, we're giving value, and you may get to a point where all of a sudden you're done. You're like, okay, there's another group out there that has more information, or that's great. But our goal is to find other people that want to grow, that want to get better, to go through the struggles that I went through when I started doing live videos, the challenges, the fears. What they say that one of the number one fears is speaking in public, or speaking in front of people, and doing live videos is the same thing. And people, they've told me, man, when I get so shaky, I get nervous, I get shaky, I don't know what to say, and I go, yeah, I understand. So right now you're seeing is a bunch of people doing live videos. These are people that we're working with, and we've challenged them to do a 7-day live video challenge. And they're just getting they're getting their feet wet, meaning they're trying to get comfortable. They're trying to find their voice.
They're crushing.
Yeah, and they're doing so amazing, man. And if you look right now in their comments, they're getting so much engagement. They're getting a lot of, and the reason being is because this group, we're creating this culture, this environment where people are just out there just being so supportive and encouraging, and going out there saying, hey, great job, or they're commenting. And I guarantee you go to other groups, you go to the Craigslist groups, you go to that backyard where you're trying to find an audience, where you're trying to find people to reach out to, or you're reposting, that's a waste of time. Okay, if you're just reposting in 40 different groups where no one knows you, you're wasting time. You're wasting that share button. You're killing that share button. I think they should ban the share button. We have other groups that we're developing and working on, so we share those in our own content, because we're building other groups up. So we can do that because we're involved in those. But we're not sharing this video, for example, in the Golden
group, right?
Chasing after us, right? Right? Yeah,
absolutely. And that's the thing. It's not just posting into a mother's group that this just wouldn't apply to a mama and me group. That's what I was trying to think of. That's not what it's about. But when you're sharing content within groups that is relevant, that makes sense. But make it relevant and comment on it, and also engage with it.
Sure, absolutely. Here's a good example. Matt's wife, we're building a bilingual group, right? On bilingual, we're trying to find the rhythm on that. She can create a video, or Matt can create a video in that group and repost it in this group. It's not a big deal, because reason being is because Matt's created so much value in this group. Well, he's an admin too, but at the same time, like, it's relevant, right? It's relevant in the group, right? It's a bilingual entrepreneur. So if someone does speak a different language, or Spanish, and listen to the message, that'd be great. That we want that content in the group.
Absolutely. And you will make a mistake. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were pausing. I did recently, I posted this show into a foodies group of one of our members. And somebody in their group's like, hey, I thought this was a food group. I was like, sometimes I got fast fingers, and I'll just see it and post it. And a lot of times I will post in some groups because those food groups have business owners. So, I don't try and spam. I try and think about where I'm posting, because I don't want to be that guy like, hey, why are you doing this? I know my feed is flooded with my stuff, and unfortunately everybody gets to see me, but that's because you've grown close to me. You see a lot of my different content on different channels. But having that different channel, the Latino channel, having the business channel for real estate, having the business channel here, you know what I mean? Channel it and speak to the right audience.
Yeah, that's great. And one of the things that I'm just gonna give you guys is, a Facebook group is a tool. I always talk about that with Matt. I tell you guys, it's not a life, it's a tool. You're using it to build an audience. But here's the thing, the tools can be dangerous too, right? Like, it could be dangerous, or I wouldn't say dangerous, but you can misuse a tool.
Right.
And that's cool. Facebook, if you're going to start a Facebook group, first learn how to, what are all the steps, right? Or what are the, how do this? It's like, don't just start inviting people, try to get some,
for sure.
Right? Yeah. Don't start a Facebook group on like, let's say a million. I want to put it like, just don't bring everybody into your group from your friends. You're going to piss off a lot of people pretty much. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what I've been trying to think about as I'm building groups and more interactive in groups the last few months, is I get a lot of requests to get to join groups, and some of them I'm joining, a lot of them I'm not. And the reason is because I want stuff that's engaging to me. I don't want my feed filled up with stuff that I'm not interested in. So no offense, and whatever you're doing in your group is fantastic, but it's just not for me. And for that reason, I'm just not going to be there, just because it's just the way it is. I expect that. That's why I'm trying to create those different channels. We're trying to have those different opportunities to engage, because some people don't want to listen to my real estate stuff all day long. You know what I mean? And some people don't want to listen to business stuff all day long, right?
Absolutely. That's why we have Live the Good Life in Las Vegas. If you're not a member in that group, join that group. That's an awesome group. I posted about the no parking, and it got like 90. So Las Vegas got so much engagement. I guess about the whole parking thing, right? Man, I didn't realize you find so we're talking about testing links and pages, and so I posted a page about the no parking. Now the hotels are not going to charge for parking, and I got so much engagement. So that's crazy.
Because when it did come in a couple of years ago when it first started, it was a huge topic. There was a lot of people that would talk about, hey, I don't want to go to the Strip anymore. If I'm going to go to the Strip, I'm not going to pay. And you try and find ways to not pay or whatever. But it really was a big polarizing subject. And now I could see them reaching out to the community saying, hey, maybe that was not something we need to do right now. Let's open up.
Big subject. I even got the MGM credit card just so I don't have to, so I not pay, because we're on the strip, we're on the Strip, and that's crazy. You don't want to be, who wants to pay $20 just to go on the Strip for a couple hours, and then, so it's like,
that's it. And it really hurt those businesses, I'm sure, because, the times that we'd want to go, we'd take a second thought about it and maybe stay local, went to Red Rock, because Red Rock's around the corner for me, instead of going to the Strip, so it's good to see that, for sure. And you're right, Facebook groups, hell of a tool. There's one more thing with groups that you're playing with that I am just dying to know since we started this conversation.
Feature, man, it is awesome. We're gonna be utilizing it more. I'm trying to find ways to utilize it, but maybe I'll make a BSN group entourage, maybe room where like anyone can hang out there, whatever. Anyways, Facebook Messenger has you can create a group on your Facebook Messenger, right? So for example, you can create like 5 people on there, and you can call, and you can FaceTime with them. Right. It's the same, but in the groups, or you can do that on your Facebook, and you can add people, and then you can just have a conversation. And what happens is I guess in the group, people can just jump in and join if they see that. They just. I was
going to ask, is it private or anything?
Live, yeah. It doesn't record or anything like that. It's just like a phone conversation within Facebook. Yeah, that's it. So people can hang out. It's like a room. It's like a little. We just like how we are, right? Like a Zoom call, and anyone can just jump in and check it out. So it's pretty cool. It's so you can, if you have a couple group of people in there, maybe. Let's say, for example, if someone in the BSN entourage, and I was thinking of ideas, for example, let's say you want to hang out and you're a realtor, right? You're a realtor, and you want to put you want to sit by your computer, and you're going to be by your computer for an hour. You can put Maddie Sells or whatever, realtor questions, or I don't know, you can create the group.
Oh, that's a phenomenal idea.
Someone can just hang out and just talk to you and say, hey, how are you? And you comes into the room. It's like walking into your office. They can walk into your office and you can say, hey, did you have any questions? And like, yeah, great, this and that. Okay, great. You can just talk to them, give them a little couple questions here and there, and maybe I'll do that when I'm working on a project here. I'll put my BSN entourage, and if you have questions or someone has questions about creating a post or engagement or about the group or whatever, I can just sit there and someone can just jump in and say hi. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it's
really making things super interactive now. Very much live is taking over. I mean, the algorithms are feeding that more and more to people versus anything that was already pre-published or anything to that effect. I could see a use case right now, like you said, with real estate, or how Lauren is doing with her booze and balloons. Man, that thing would be amazing kind of group right there.
She's using it. And this is her. Lauren's one of our other admins, and and here's her formula. I broke it down. So she's doing her husband is a champion balloon artist, right? This guy can made Thor. Thor. I told him to make Thor. He made a balloon and make him look like Thor. I was like, hey, So it was cool. So they have their show. They're having fun. They're having a good time. And she's engaging with them. She's talking. People are jumping on, saying hello, and she's Jeremy. He's making his balloons, and so after probably an hour of live, they'll do a after hours, right? So after the show, they'll do an after hours. So for example, like us, we can say, okay, we're going to jump on the group after this. If anyone has any questions, right? So they jump in the room, and it's an after hours or after session of the video, right? So someone can jump in and have a conversation with us even more if we wanted to. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
No, that's insane. That's insane to be able to have that reach.
Yeah. So they can jump to us face to face. It's like a face call. They don't, we jump in. Okay, great. And we can have a conversation with them. Someone has a question or whatever, or hold on one second. My phone.
So and they can come face to face. Is it somebody that I hear a lot of people say, hey, I don't want to go on camera. They can sit in the comments as well? There's a chat. I haven't seen it yet, man. You told me about it this morning.
We'll play with it. Maybe tomorrow we'll do it. We'll test it out.
How about on our live today? We're talking about getting together this afternoon. Maybe if that's still on, we could do that. Curious.
For the live, yeah, it doesn't matter. We can play with it. It's just like a phone call. So people just need to jump on.
Okay.
Yeah, you can play with it. We can play with it whenever. You can just sit down and go, I think we just need to strategize, you and I, on. I'd love to have like a BSN. Maybe like a mentor. We're talking about the mentor program, maybe mentor program. You and I maybe and then we can jump in and sit there. And someone has questions while you're working, they can reach out to you, have questions, or we and you can be there. And someone jumps in and says, "Hey, I have a question about like your group or whatever. What are you guys doing?" We can sit there and talk to them and really have a little bit better conversation. And we're not exchanging phone numbers, or we're not they're just jumping in and saying
conversations,
right? So, yeah.
I'm really anxious to try this out. Something that came out. Anybody that watched the Super Bowl saw how much Facebook feels about Facebook groups. They're putting $5.5 million per spot on that Facebook ad for groups only. They're really trying to dive deep. They're bringing all types of communication. WhatsApp, Telegram. All these are popping onto Messenger now. Instagram, I've said it a long time. My personal thought is Instagram's kind of going to go away by being sucked into the Facebook platform itself, and the Facebook platform is just going to grow even further because the people that were moving away are going to actually come right back to it. So that's my personal philosophy on the whole thing. But wow, how powerful that is. Real estate agents, maybe I've been thinking about how to do like a live show to talk about on Friday, maybe market conditions, what's sold, what's available, how to qualify for homes, what's the first step, how to sell my home. Any of those types of questions, I was thinking about doing that. So maybe I'll try it this Friday and do it on my page in a group, or excuse me, it's got to be in a group on a page. So I'm going to figure that out. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, well, it's just people straight access to you, and people will jump in. And here's the thing, when we were in Lauren's group, she had like her little after hours with her girlfriends, and they're all hanging out talking. And I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I'm just, I'm just testing the group out.
Yeah.
You off the video. You can make it a video. You don't have to worry about. You can do voice. You can do the faces. You can have fun.
You said it didn't record though, right? Did you have
It doesn't record. There's no recording. You can take a picture.
Different.
Like your Facebook Messenger live, like your Facebook Messenger.
Because I was thinking about, how you were showing me about the watch party. We were talking about that. And I think that's a super cool feature that I haven't explored too much yet either. There's so much to do, I'm trying to get to all of it. But it sounds like it's a little bit different use than that watch party.
Yeah, it's like someone just coming to you and your phone's open and you're there and people can come see you and have a conversation with you. So we'll play with that a little bit more. Someone that's watching this in the group and wants to test it out for free, I'd love to see what you're up to and maybe you have some ideas. Play with it. Right now, I'm not blocking anyone's ideas right now. So obviously,
no ideas actually.
Once you're selling Bitcoin, then you're stopped. Right?
We're going to steer away from all those things in politics too.
Yeah, politics too. You can't be starting some crazy political group.
Absolutely. It's business, and figuring it out. I think we're good, man. We got 3 great topics today. Thank you for joining Business, Sales, and Networking. We're a proud member of the Real Disrupt Podcast Collaborative. You can check out more of our awesome podcasts at realdisrupt.com.